you're on now. So take it away when you're ready.
So I was working on a cruise ship in Asia as a pastry chef.
Okay.
And I had early mornings, so I didn't typically go out at night.
Okay.
So this one night, I get a knock on my door. We were not parked, but docked in Japan. Mm-hmm. And one of the other chefs comes and he's like, Jackie, can I borrow $200? And I was like, okay, why do you need $200? He goes, well, we started a tab in this bar and we didn't realize how much we were drinking. He took a picture of the bar later and it was covered from end to end in their empties.
Okay.
So they didn't realize how much they had been drinking. And basically they held the rest of the crew hostage and sent him back to get money to pay for their tab.
Damn.
So I ended up having to, well, clearly it's not a business on the up and up because typically they don't keep people hostage.
Right.
So I basically ended up ransoming the crew from a Yakuza run bar in Japan.
$200 doesn't sound like an insane amount of money though for a group of people.
This was a few years ago and it was $200 US.
The inflation really hits hard.
Yeah, so it was about, I want to say 10 years ago.
Okay.
So the US money is a lot compared to yen, especially like 4,000 yen is $400.
Right.
So you got to keep that in mind. And
so what, your buddies just didn't realize how much they were drinking, or?
Yeah. So I ended up giving them $200, and they repaid me in pudding that they made. It's like a Malva pudding.
Wait, did these crew members not get paid?
No, they did.
So why did they pay you back in pudding?
Well, they also paid me back in money, but they to thank me, they gave me pudding.
Oh,
which
okay.
Actually,
the way you made it sound is like you slaved them away for pudding labor or something.
And then later on, they also, fun story, I actually got in trouble for having the pudding in my room because I forgot it was there.
How did that happen?
Yeah, according to USPH or United States Public Health, you're not allowed to have any food in your cabins. So when we were in the U.S., because at that point we were going back and forth between Alaska and Vancouver, they did an inspection, and so I had completely forgotten it was there. So I got it in trouble. How much
pudding are we talking about?
Oh, just a little bowl.
And they're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, so I got technically a citation on my.
Why can't you have pudding in your or any food?
Well, it had to be sealed food, and it was. I mean, it had saran wrap, but it was in a bowl.
But wouldn't any food that you open be unsealed?
Yeah, it's a very weird setup. But yeah.
So how come I'm assuming you're out of the cruise business?
Yeah. Now I'm a chef at the casino.
Why'd you get out of the cruises? COVID?
No, actually it was because at the time I was about to start my apprenticeship program here for pastry chef.
Okay.
And actually, fun story. I ended up staying 2 extra weeks because my replacement ended up threatening the main chef with knives.
Nice.
So I ended up staying to cover him until they could find someone else to come and replace him.
Okay.
It was a fun time. There's a lot of hijinks that happen on the high seas.
Yeah, pirates and whatnot.
Yeah.
Ever run into any pirates or no?
No pirates.
No pirates.
Drunken wedding proposals, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
People proposing at weddings, or people making drunken proposals?
No, this guy got really drunk at the crew bar and proposed to me and really wanted to convince me it was a good idea.
Did you know him?
Yeah, he worked in pastry with me, but it was I had just met him 2 months ago.
But you weren't
no
dating or talking or.
It was Jackie. No, but think about it. Think about it, Jackie. I live in India and you live in Canada. We could move to the US. It's kind of in the middle. And my parents would love you.
Jokes. So, when you guys, you don't work all the time on the cruise, obviously, right? So what happens when you're on?
Actually, you do.
What do you mean you do?
I'd work 14-hour days, 7 days a week.
Wow.
You have 3 days off you have obviously breakfast, lunch, dinner. And then you have 3 days off from I want to say 2 to 5, unless you were working tea time, in which you only had about an hour and a half.
How do people not burn out completely?
Well, there's 6-month contracts, and then you have mandatory 2 months off.
That's like, okay, sure, you can have 2 months off, but if you run anything for like 7 days a week, 14 hours a day, you're just gonna like face plant. I don't understand how you run a whole crew like that.
Or you could work 10-month contracts and have 4 months off.
That's the same problem. Again, like, it doesn't make it. Imagine if I told you there's a bunch of like doctors and nurses at the local hospital.
Yeah.
They work, 15-hour shifts, 7 days a week, but they have 2 months off at the end. Like, you would be like, I don't want this guy operating on me, right?
That's why you see, like when you're on a cruise ship, you'll notice a lot of them are either, really young people working on a cruise ship because it's kind of a young person's game.
Okay.
Or there's someone who just it's their way of life.
Yeah.
They started young and they never stopped.
Interesting.
There's that's the only 2 types of people working on a cruise ship.
My question was gonna be like what do you guys do on your leisure time? Like, do you become passengers essentially? But it doesn't seem like that's the case.
Not really passengers, but there's cruises vary, but on the one I was working on, there was a system where instead of tipping us, the passengers would donate money to a crew fund, which would then fund a party with booze.
Okay.
And then, or a trip later on.
Once every 10 months?
Well, not once every 10 months, but like a trip from the ship going up. So like we went ziplining over old mining spots in Alaska, or there was one where you could go see a temple with live tigers in it in either the Philippines or Japan, I think. I don't remember.
Okay.
Like I said, it was like 10 years ago, and I didn't actually go on that trip, so.
Okay.
But yeah, so like crew outings. So.
It sounds like something that you give to like prisoners that have been on good behavior, but
yeah.
It is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the life. Is the casino better? Or worse?
No, it's much better.
Okay.
For one, I get 2 days off.
Solid. Alright. Well, thanks for doing the thing.
You're welcome.
Much appreciated. If you want to check out the channel, you'll be on there in the next several months at some point.
Okay.
But yeah, it's called RideLight.